Innovation, sustainability, inclusivity and diversity, and resource development. This is Shell LiveWIRE, our global flagship enterprise development program officially launched here in the Philippines. Our purpose? To support communities by funding local businesses and helping them grow through long-term initiatives that ensure sustainable livelihood for Filipinos. We support the companies of the future today. We support enterprises that make a relevant social impact. We support efforts that improve the lives of communities, great ideas, and sustainable projects made by Filipinos to help fellow Filipinos. Let's spark change in our country. Shell LiveWIRE. Innovation, sustainability, inclusivity and diversity, and resource development. This is Shell LiveWIRE, our global flagship enterprise development program officially launched here in the Philippines. Our purpose? to support communities by funding local businesses and helping them grow. Through long-term initiatives that ensure sustainable livelihood for Filipinos. We support the companies of the future today. We support enterprises that make a relevant social impact. We support efforts that improve the lives of communities, great ideas, and sustainable projects made by Filipinos to help fellow Filipinos. Let's spark change in our country. Shell LiveWIRE. Innovation, sustainability, inclusivity and diversity, and resource development. This is Shell LiveWIRE, our global flagship enterprise development program officially launched here in the Philippines. Our purpose? To support communities by funding local businesses and helping them grow. Through long-term initiatives that ensure sustainable livelihood for Filipinos. We support the companies of the future today. We support enterprises that make a relevant social impact. We support efforts that improve the lives of communities, great ideas, and sustainable projects made by Filipinos to help fellow Filipinos. Let's spark change in our country. Shell LiveWIRE.
time has come for the most anticipated event of the year for all innovators. Prepare to be wowed by ideas that will change the country and change the world. Welcome to Shell LiveWIRE.
Determined founders, mind-blowing pitches, revolutionary startups from all over the Philippines. One goal to ignite: Shell LiveWIRE, energizing innovative Filipino entrepreneurs. From countless promising startups with big goals of transforming their communities, the best of the best stood out. Under the Shell LiveWIRE Acceleration Program, they went through months of specialized training and mentoring, where founders were guided to bring their vision to life. Social enterprises, community enterprises, companies that create significant social and ecological impact. And finally, a much-awaited final pitch showdown between three trailblazing technology startups: Yoo-Hoo, Nanotronics, and NextPay, vying for the most coveted title of being Shell LiveWIRE Philippines' first champion. Fuel your passion. Transform lives. Create the future. Together, let's spark change in our country. Shell LiveWIRE.
What a perfect day to come together to celebrate incredible possibilities and partnerships. Hello everyone, welcome to Shell LiveWIRE. My name is RJ Ledesma. I am very honored to be with some of the country's most brilliant minds and entrepreneurs. While Shell LiveWIRE has been making waves worldwide for decades now, this is the first time we are holding it here in the Philippines. Shell LiveWIRE partnered with Ignite PH Conference for this monumental event this year. From over 155 applicants all over the country, Shell LiveWIRE Philippines has chosen some of the best startups and community enterprises to support, in line with its vision of helping in nation building. We have our top 3 tech startups, as well as 6 promising social enterprises and community programs. These lucky businesses have been receiving Shell LiveWIRE's all-out support, training and mentoring, with the hope of affecting local and global change through their respective innovations. While the current pandemic has posed challenges in the Shell LiveWIRE Acceleration Program, the program has been responding with agility by doing virtual training sessions. Our startups, for their part, have been making the most out of all of these. Since we are navigating through a new normal, we have been conducting most of these sessions online. The Shell LiveWIRE PH Acceleration Program ended last November 27. Today, we will be awarding our community enterprises with a grant, and ultimately, for the tech startups, the first ever champion of Shell LiveWIRE that will receive an equity-free prize of 500,000 pesos. We've got plenty to cover here today, so let us officially start the program with a welcome message from none other than the Filipino Shell Petroleum Corporation President and CEO, Mr. Cesar Romero.
Good day. I would like to start by recognizing and thanking our partners from the government, the Department of Trade and Industry, Department of Science and Technology, Department of Information and Communications Technology, and Department of Agriculture, who provided good avenues of opportunity for our local startups to link up with government programs since the official launch of our Shell LiveWIRE program last September. We would like to express our gratitude to our partners from various non-government organizations and the successful Filipino startup entrepreneurs who generously share their experience with the Shell LiveWIRE cohorts. To our friends from local media who supported the programs by creating awareness on the importance of rebuilding our economy through innovation and entrepreneurship. to the untiring effort of our colleagues from External Relations, Filipina Shell Foundation, and Ignite Philippines, who demonstrated their full commitment in successfully delivering the program amidst challenges in connectivity brought about by the COVID-19 pandemic. And most of all, to our 9 Shell LiveWIRE startups, Yuhu, Nanotronics, NextPay, Oro Handmade Innovation, Mag's Wheel Furniture, Revolve Outerwear, Unisan Agdangan Multipurpose Cooperative, Makabalan Oro Wharf Association, and last but not the least, CBAP Multipurpose Cooperative that was recently awarded as one of the 2020 Global Shell LiveWIRE Top 10 Innovators. I am truly proud that you have completed the 3-month acceleration and mentoring program and are now ready to face the challenges of being full-fledged entrepreneurs. The COVID-19 pandemic has led to the closure of countless local businesses, leaving millions of Filipinos unemployed. The challenge continues as the country and the world still try to combat the virus. Amidst all this, the Shell LiveWIRE program creates the opportunity for Filipino innovators to help revitalize our economy by creating jobs and services through their not just creative but out-of-the-box business ideas which are relevant to addressing the needs and challenges of the new normal. Shell LiveWIRE supports these ideas to mature into sustainable businesses by providing training, mentoring, and coaching from our pool of local and international experts and additional funding capital to start or enhance their businesses. We also work with startups to identify potential integration to Shell's value chain. The Shell LiveWIRE program is our contribution to building our nation by creating and empowering a community of local innovators that focuses on energy solutions, environment and circular economy, and local prosperity. With more than 155 Filipino entrepreneurs who aspire to be part of the pioneering batch of Shell LiveWIRE, we see the need to do more in supporting those at the grassroots level. The cooperatives and local associations are our strong partners in the community. But most of them lack the full potential to professionally operate their projects and have been facing several challenges adapting to a digital world. That is why Shell helps to bridge this gap by connecting with the government and fintech institutions as part of the Shell LiveWIRE Acceleration Program. Our young members of the community have the energy to bring forth bright ideas, yet also need preparation and guidance to incubate and grow. This is where Shell's partners such as PhilDev, Enactus, and Teach for the Philippines have been vital in supporting this endeavor. I wish the best to our 9 startups who will be presenting today after going through the acceleration program. While this may be your final pitch, this is just the start of your new journey to apply what you've learned from Shell LiveWIRE. I expect that as you expand your respective businesses, may you also serve as a vehicle to create awareness for others to have the courage to pursue their innovative business ideas and make a difference in society. Thank you very much.
Thank you as well, Mr. Romero, for championing in the Philippines both the ecosystem for tech and social enterprise startups. You are very inspiring with that opening message. Maraming salamat ulit. After hearing from Shell Philippines' inspiring leader, I will now give the stage to one of Shell LiveWire's global representatives. Please welcome Shell's Social Investment Strategy Advisor, Mr. Bezad Khan.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be part of your exciting event. I'm very happy to be here. Shell LiveWire is the flagship enterprise development program at Shell with a vision to strengthen local economies by promoting entrepreneurship, innovation, and meaningful employment. This program was started 38 years ago in 1982 in Scotland, United Kingdom, with the objective to help the growing levels of unemployment by promoting entrepreneurship. Today, obviously, we've grown over the years, and we are now in around 18 countries and supporting in 11 different languages. The countries that we have in our portfolio range all over the world, from Argentina, Brazil, Trinidad and Tobago, to Oman, Egypt, China, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, Indonesia, and now the Philippines. And so I also want to take this opportunity to congratulate the Philippines team for successfully launching LiveWire in the country. The LiveWire program today supports entrepreneurs who are at the cutting edge of innovation, focusing on things like energy solutions, value chain integration, and economic diversification. In 2019, the program was successfully able to help create 1,200 businesses, and out of those, 47 businesses were actually included in Shell's supply chain. The program also helped create 1,600 jobs. There are a variety of ways the program supports entrepreneurs, including things like training, mentoring, coaching, networking opportunities, but also awards. And I just like to mention here that annually we have this competition called the Top 10 Innovators Competition, which is a global platform open to the alumni entrepreneurs from all our LiveWire countries. And the objective of this competition is to really reward exceptional examples of innovation, but also to create a cohort of role models who can inspire entrepreneurs across the globe. And during Global Entrepreneurship Week this year in November, we just recently announced the winners from this competition. And in case you missed it, I'm very happy to inform you that there was a runners-up from the Philippines, the Sibab Cooperative Society, which is a runners-up in the local prosperity category. So many congratulations to them. And also, I would also like to, really sort of congratulate the 9 startups who are part of this event and who are actually pitching. And I know it's not an easy job to actually go out there and pitch about your business. You've all worked really hard and you have brilliant ideas. And in my view, I think everybody's a winner. And I just want to wish you all the best for this competition, but also want to wish you success for your business and for the future. And I'm sure you will all be superb. So again, congratulations and good luck and big thumbs up. Thank you.
And again, thank you so much, Bezat, for bringing Shell LiveWire here to the Philippines. Now, that definitely got us even more pumped up about our featured startups in this competition. So on that note, let us get to know our judges for the Shell LiveWire Philippines Final Pitch competition. Please welcome Shell Philippines Country Social Performance and Investment Manager, Sanky Simbulan. Filipino Shell Foundation Incorporated Executive Director, Sebastian Quiñones. Exchange Director, Love Gregory Perez. Department of Information and Communications Technology Director, Emmy Delfin. And DTI Philippine Trade Training Center, OIC Executive Director, Nelly Diliera. And aside from our incredible roster of judges, we have also an internal auditor joining us today. He has been in the accounting profession for over 15 solid years and is an active member of the Philippine Institute of Certified Public Accountants. Say hello to Mr. Richard Ibarra. And to all of our judges, thank you so much for taking time out to joining us here today. I wish you all good luck because I'm sure it'll be very challenging to choose the top startup in today's Shell LiveWire Final Pitch competition. We now go to one of our program's most exciting parts, the final pitching and panel discussions. We will be presenting our top 3 startups in random order, where they will do their final pitch. A panel discussion with our esteemed judges will follow. And let's meet our first tech startup. This startup produces bio-based nanomaterials called cellulose nanocrystals made from indigenous plants to help sustainably reduce plastic waste. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to all of you Nanotronics.
I'm willing, by the way, to take the risk and give it all based on my talents, skills, abilities, and experience, and also, in getting additional resources to see that Nanotronics will achieve its goal to the next level. So what we do in Nanotronics is that we turn highly renewable indigenous plants into nanotechnology or sustainable nanotechnology materials. We reduce the reliance on the use of trees in terms of like renewable resources for like a feedstock for say biodegradable material. And then second is that our product can increase the bio-based content if you use it together with synthetic or fossil-based fuel or say product derivatives. So at the end of the day, it will actually contribute in terms of lower carbon emission. And then the third, our product can be used as an additive to biodegradable plastic or plastics, which we know is not that durable. So we are actually catering different industries. But of course, we are focusing right now on biodegradable packaging. So not just locally, but also in the world. The Shell LiveWIRE program brings in like new knowledge, new insights, and also experiences on how startups, especially Nanotronics, to grow here in the Philippines. The learnings or the experience that we get coming from the program, by the way, especially if like say alumni or experienced founders that we hear, or of course their story as well as their pitch and also their sharing in the program, it's very valuable for us. And then of course we really appreciate those lessons that we actually see, which we can actually translate to Nanotronics per se. For us to sustainably grow the company in the future and of course in the many years to come. We want to embark on the acceleration program, and of course we want to see the possibility of us growing inside and contributing inside the Shell LiveWIRE ecosystem or the Shell ecosystem per se. I would say Nanotronics is successful if it has reached already like a unicorn status, at the same time innovating and contributing, by the way, making an impact to have a sustainable environment. So I believe that achieving both would be my, say, gauge or metric. And I could smile when we reach those, and I can say that Nanotronics is successful.
And that was our brief intro to Nanotronics. I actually like how Nanotronics was sort of like a combination of different startup technologies, which include agri-tech, you also have envirotech and tech itself. And with that, I'd like to welcome Dr. Jerome Palaganas. Jerome, good luck with your pitch for Nanotronics.
A pleasant day to everyone. My name is Dr. Jerome Palaganas, CEO and co-founder of Nanotronics. I am here to talk about Nanotronics and our product material solution. Plastic is a very useful product due to its vast industrial applications. But plastic waste is a global problem that we face today, which is impacting our environment. Did you know that it's only 14% of plastic waste which is being recycled effectively? And the next question to that is, what happens to the rest? Just for your reference, plastic will be with us for a very long time, especially for those which are not recycled. Trees or timber is an alternative solution for plastic material. However, we are trading one material to the next, wherein the use of tree increases deforestation, which impacts the environment, causing a 1.8 gigaton of carbon emission annually. Our solution is that we produce a bio-based polymer called cellulose nanocrystal. So our material, it's produced or is extracted coming from indigenous plants, and the picture here depicts how cellulose nanocrystal is actually extracted from various cellulose or plant sources. Our MTEX and MTEX TP, which are cellulose nanocrystal, are sustainable and strong material, which actually is a good replacement for plastic. It reduces pollution as well as it preserves tree. When used, it actually presents distinct properties as a filler or as an additive. What makes our product unique as a value proposition is that we have high aspect ratio, which makes us superior than most of our competitor out there. We're also compatible in terms of any plastic media types. Thus, this is a critical component in terms of manufacturing or production. Our high aspect ratio of our product yields to several distinct advantages such as strength, ductility, and also toughness. Aspect ratio, by the way, is the ratio between the length and the diameter. Our use cases are steadily increasing, and nowadays we're focusing on automotive and also marine composites, biodegradable packaging, lubricant additive, and construction materials. To date, we have seven B2B clients and earned revenues. We have at least 5 company pilot projects and 20 customer discussions here and abroad. Apart from the government grant that we received for pioneering the production of the nanomaterial here in the country, we also received angel investment. We are supported by various government industries or government agencies as well as private partners. The market opportunities for our nanomaterial is very promising, characterized by a $1.23 trillion market as well as a double-digit market growth rate. Our revenue stream is coming from our plant production, which is from our product sales and also our R&D services. We're looking into increasing our revenue stream through joint client venture partnership and licensing agreement. Beyond our team expertise, what combines or actually binds us is actually our commitment to make a significant difference in helping to contribute in terms of impacting the environment and community, leveraging on our natural resources here in the Philippines and our material expertise. We see a good synergy between our products and also with that of Shell ecosystem. We see and propose 4 integration points into the Shell ecosystem, working with the different Shell partners as well as the Shell teams. What we're looking at right now is a partnership through joint partnership and development with the different Shell ecosystem, communities, and partners, such that we will have a successful integration of our products with the Shell ecosystem. With that, I'm looking forward for the question and answer. And thank you very much and have a good day.
Again, thank you so much, Dr. Jerome Palaganas, scientist and CEO. Truly fantastic work. Now, Jerome, let's see what our judges have to say about your final pitch. Let's now open this part to the panel discussion and question and answer from our judges. I believe the first judge to ask a question is Ms. Sankey. Ms. Sankey, please pose your question to Jerome.
Very quickly, is this something that you still need to partner with somebody else or another organization to be able to carry it out, or can you already deliver those?
For the first 2 solutions, we can already deliver those. And then, of course, for the next 2, we have already identified partners wherein we can actually deliver those. So more or less, we have the full solution in place and ready for delivery.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Jerome.
Thank you very much for the question.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Jerome. Very interesting product. In terms of intellectual property and making sure that you protect the knowledge that you've generated, how and where, which countries have you already gotten intellectual property and patents to ensure that you are protected?
Thank you for that question, Sir Baste. Actually, there are many means in terms of protecting intellectual property. So in our case, we're protecting our intellectual property now using trade secret. So it's also a common knowledge that trade secret is also being used by top companies like Coca-Cola, wherein their product for hundreds of years it's through their trade secret, it's still Coca-Cola, as we say, and then nobody in the world, even Pepsi, RC Cola, or no one even here in the Philippines can actually follow. But later on, as we integrate it to a final product, such as what we proposed or presented earlier, we plan actually to file a patent, and we plan actually to file a patent here in the Philippines and also to the countries where we will distribute the products.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Dr. Jerome. Thank you for that. Very interesting. And yeah, we saw each other at the last pitch, no? So my question for you is around the supply, your business model, no? Your supply chain. You're looking for funding to scale up to 200 kilograms. And you compared your process more favorably compared to using trees, no? So how does that compare to managed forests in terms of sustainability? And then also, how are you going to secure your supply to scale up to 200 kilograms and beyond?
Okay, thank you for that question, Ms. Greg. For the first question, we're not using trees, by the way, so we're using indigenous crops. So the indigenous crops is actually very abundant here in the Philippines. In fact, it's very renewable, so we can harvest it like annually and then 3 times a year. Now, on the second question, since it's very abundant here in the Philippines, we don't see any issue in terms of the supply chain once we go from our current production of 30 kilogram going towards a 200 kilogram, because that particular plant in the Philippines is, you can see, and it grows from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. In fact, one of the barrios in our province in Antique is named after that particular plant. It is because it's so many, or it's just sprouting up in many of the places in that particular place.
Okay, so you're saying that that's more sustainable than even a managed forest.
Yeah.
Sorry, RJ, just to follow up. Yeah, and so basically, you're vertically integrating your supply chain and you're managing that part as well.
Yes, Ms. Greg. So in terms of the forest, the reason why there is a regulation right now, it is because forests, or the trees as we know, it takes like 10 to 20 years when you cut a tree and then use that for packaging as a replacement for plastic. In our case, as I've mentioned, our material or our bio feedstock is actually growing annually, and you can harvest like 3 times a year. So in terms of the vertical integration, it's not really an issue that we actually put it as part of our backward integration and then later on manage the supply chain so that we can efficiently deliver to the customer and to the clients out there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to the judges for those really great thought-provoking questions. To begin with our first startup, Nanotronics. And it's time to meet the next finalist. Our next startup describes itself as a simple and affordable digital banking platform that helps small business owners collect, send, and manage their money. I present to you NextPay.
Small businesses are the backbone of any economy, and the Philippines is no different. And so we truly believe that by approaching that market, by really helping them succeed, this helps the Philippines as a whole. My co-founder and I moved back to the Philippines in 2017. We moved back from Canada and the United States because we found ourselves working with really good companies, but ultimately it seemed that we were solving first world problems. But being Filipinos ourselves, we were born here and we just happened to migrate to these countries when we were young. We've always wanted to go back to the Philippines to solve real problems, whether it be in finance, health, education, and so on. And which also means there's real opportunity to make real impact. The Philippines is full of entrepreneurial people, and yet they're tremendously underserved from a financial standpoint. That's because most financial services here in the Philippines today are really meant for larger companies who have the budget, who have the teams, who can afford the setup fees, the minimum balances required in these financial services. So that means that most small businesses don't have access to these tools, to these services. So what NextPay provides is a platform for even the solo entrepreneur to easily open up an account. And we don't require any minimum balances, any setup fees, any subscription or recurring costs. And all you need to do is pay per transaction. So this is perfect for any solo entrepreneur to small businesses. Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas is predicting that by the year 2023, 50% of all transactions in the Philippines are digital. And they're also predicting that by the year 2030, close to 100% of all transactions are digital. And this is where NextPay comes in, because we believe that by helping small businesses succeed in the Philippines, we're actually helping the economy as a whole. Shell LiveWire's mission is to empower entrepreneurial activities and to help businesses. And that happens to also be our mission and vision. So simply by making it to the top 3 actually brought about some very good publicity for us, and that has actually gotten us customers. The actual mentorship and learnings that we're getting from the program. So, we've attended a number of workshops, and the people they've brought in to teach have just been very, very good. The problem that MSMEs in the Philippines encounter is not just within the Philippines. This is also something that is seen in many places around the world. This is something that we're actually going to expand to different places around the world. So by helping NextPay, you're helping us help you help us all.
Again, Don, it's nice to see you again over here. And I love the story of you coming home here to the Philippines to solve real-world developing country problems and make it a solution for the rest of the world. With that, Don, it's your turn to pitch NextPay.
Thanks, RJ, for the introduction again. Nice to see you as always. And I will share my screen right now and we should be good to go. Great. So my name is Don Panzacola again, and I am the CEO and co-founder of NextPay. So to everyone watching, good afternoon, or depending where in the world you're watching from, good evening or good morning. So NextPay helps small businesses send money, collect money, and manage money in the same way that big banks do for big businesses. So when the pandemic hit, thousands of Filipinos lost their jobs. And the only jobs available were in the essential services, which is why Audrey, one of our clients, started a pay-by-the-hour courier service. And she was doing really well, helping people find jobs, until she realized that it was hard to pay her drivers. That's because they didn't have bank accounts. None of them did. And she wanted to help more people, but it would have made her life even more difficult. And Audrey isn't alone here. This is a problem shared by hundreds of thousands of fellow entrepreneurs. That's because the Philippines, as you all know, is a cash-based economy. Most businesses actually still have to go to banks to manually deal in cash and checks, for instance. And the reason we have to deal with this is because most of the financial services today are for larger companies who can afford them. And even then, there's a whole lot of other BS that you got to deal with. So small businesses like Auntie Wilma's Cafeteria are the backbone of our economy. So why are they still tremendously underserved financially? That's why we built NextPay, a fast, simple, and affordable set of business banking services where business owners can easily sign up and start collecting money, such as getting paid by your customers, manage your money so you can see how your business is doing in real time, and send money, such as paying your salaries, bills, and paying your suppliers. And there are no maintaining balances or ridiculous requirements either. Since we launched our limited beta access in March, we've disbursed more than $1.2 million to over 1,300 employees and suppliers. And we've been growing our revenue 45% month on month on average. Our growth today has been all organic, mostly referrals from our existing happy customers with zero marketing spend. So here's how we help some of our customers. So Audrey now uses us to pay all her delivery drivers and suppliers weekly. Aisha previously used e-wallets, bank transfers, and checks to pay their employees, and it took them 3 people 3 whole days. But with NextPay, we boiled that down to 30 minutes. So we help companies, again, in 3 ways. First, for sending money. You can pay your employees and suppliers all in one go to any bank and any e-wallet in the country, and soon remittance centers as well. Second, for collecting money, we allow businesses to send digital invoices and payment links, which allows them to accept money from most payment channels. And lastly, managing money means accurate tracking and recording tools that easily connect to payroll and accounting systems. So we make money through transaction fees only when money goes in and out. So we're accessible and affordable to any small entrepreneur. So we're doing what banks are failing to do for small businesses. That's because they're focused mainly on enterprise customers. My co-founder Aldrich and I were born here, but worked with unicorn companies in the United States and Canada. And so we're able to apply the best practices abroad into the local landscape and culture. So we're licensed with the Central Bank, and Union Bank is our initial partner. And we've bootstrapped everything to date. So now we want to accelerate our growth by raising $200,000. So we are NextPay, and we're bringing digital finance to small businesses in the Philippines. Thank you.
Again, Don, thank you so much. As an owner of a small business myself, I can see how your app works very well with my own business. Audrey's told me all about it. She's very happy with that exciting concept. Let's hear what our judges now think of your final pitch for the Shell LiveWIRE competition. Judges, I'm sure that his presentation piqued your interest, especially our good friends from the government agencies which work with a lot of the MSMEs. Who would like to get the ball rolling from our good friends in the government?
Okay, coming from a training center, training institution, I'd like to know what skills are necessary for MSMEs, what particular skills, and how will you go about, developing the skills of our MSMEs, especially in your scaling direction?
Okay, hi Nelly, thank you so much for your question. So the first question is, what skills are necessary in order to use our product so they can succeed? And second, what are we doing in order to get them to use it, right? So for the first question, all you need is basic web browsing skills and bookkeeping skills, to tell you the truth. So if, for example, you know how to use Facebook, we are something that you can definitely learn how to use easily. So my co-founder Aldrich, his background is in US user experience, and so what that means is it's a core fundamental value in building our products. And so when we've built it, we've worked really closely with our existing customers, and we've learned what they need, how they use things, and we've built it specifically for them. And they essentially encompass the MSME market. So you could say our product right now is really meant for them, and it's easily accessible to them in different technological levels. So now to answer your question of like, how do we get them? So right now we're approaching more tech savvy companies, and this is in the short term. You could call them our early adopters because they're more likely to use our service and we're able to really learn. But later on, as we approach the early majority and the late majority, we'll see a lot more traditional brick and mortar businesses, maybe even the sari-sari stores in the late majority. By then, we'd have developed a product that not only is something they can easily pick up, something they can easily access in the mobile phone, but we can see in the future, during that period of time, internet connectivity will be a lot more accessible throughout the country, and you'll have a lot more younger people taking over their parents' businesses and who are more tech savvy. And you can see that right now, where the younger generation, we're essentially the social media capital in the world, right? So you can see how we're a lot more tech savvy than your average person, and the average population in the country is actually very young at 23 years old. So that's what we see in the future.
Hi, Don.
Hi.
Good afternoon. Yeah, congratulations for being part of the top 3 finalists. It's actually a follow-through of the question from Director Nelly. Well, first of all, my question is, what makes you different from the other digital banking platforms? Because there are actually a lot right now. So if there are 3 things that make you different from among the others, what are these?
Okay.
And it's also, the second question is, how are you reaching out? Especially there are a lot of small businesses in the countryside. How are you reaching out to them?
Okay, so the first question, what makes us different? So you could say our alternative right now, or the alternative to NextPay, is typical corporate banking, right? But if you look at corporate banking, opening up an account, for example, requires a minimum balance requirement, typically anywhere from 5,000 to even 100,000 pesos. That's just for a corporate account. And obviously that makes it so that a solo entrepreneur and many small businesses can't quite afford that. Now, if you want to avail of a corporate payroll account, which is a special type of account that allows you to disburse salaries to multiple employees, that requires a much higher average daily balance. Sometimes, like with Security Bank, they require 800,000 pesos and at least 100 employees. So there's a lot of things that makes them not accessible to small businesses and even medium-sized businesses. Whereas for us, we don't require any setup fees, no minimum balances. You can start using us for free. You just need to pay for the transaction fee, so it's a pay per use. All right, and in regards to the second question, how do we plan to reach them? Right now, we have 4 pillars. The first pillar is what we've been using, referrals. So a lot of happy customers have been referring their friends and business contacts, and we see that being a continuing trend, right? The second pillar would be through actually having a growth team. So that includes sales and marketing. So we currently have an account manager. We just hired one, and we're going to continue growing that. So they'll be focused on getting those customers. The third one would be strategic partnerships with organizations like BTI, the OST, as well as organizations that really focus on the MSME market, as well as accounting firms and aggregators. And fourth would be network growth. So what that means is the more times people interact with our product, the more opportunities there is for them to convert. So if you receive a payment confirmation or an invoice, it has an opportunity for the recipient to convert into a NextPay user themselves.
And that's really all the time that we have.
Thank you,
Don
Don.
Pensacola and NextPay. Thank you so much to our judges, our good friends from the government agencies, for really quizzing Don on his NextPay fintech solution. Again, Don, good luck with NextPay.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
And we are down to our last finalist. This company developed a device that measures air quality so users can find ways to improve it and be alert for possible health risks or threats. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you, Yoo-Hoo.
When it comes to air pollution, it's really all about creating more awareness for it. Air pollution is often associated with outdoors, but people don't really know that air indoors is actually almost 5 times worse than outdoors. So if you manage air quality indoors properly, you would be able to reduce sicknesses, illnesses, passing colds, fever, and whatnot, and diseases to each other in the indoor environment. My co-founder and I, we do have respiratory conditions, and a lot of our allergies occurred when we were inside a school building. This happened in Hong Kong when we were doing our MBA program. And when we talked to the school about it, none of them really took it too hard to address the issues, and a lot of the students were also experiencing the same respiratory conditions like asthma, hay fever, and different types of allergies. So what we did eventually was we came up with this whole idea, or this notion, that you can only manage what you measure. So that's when we decided that, okay, it's time for us to drop our classes and start this company and pursue this mission of making sure that buildings, homes were being managed properly to enhance the health and well-being of people. And eventually, as we started building the company, it evolved, and eventually our vision became to turn into clean air for all, because that's what we really wanted to achieve in the onset. What we do at Yoo-Hoo is we help you monitor and measure the quality of air that you breathe. And with that kind of information, you would be able to take proper action to enhance the health and well-being of basically your family at home, and also your employees or your workmates in the workplace. And in terms of addressing the pandemic, we launched a product called the Yoo-Hoo Virus Index. It's patented, and we're the only one in the world that has it. And what we can do is give you a real-time assessment of your risk of the coronavirus surviving and being transmitted in the air in any indoor environment. The way we view it when we applied for the accelerator is to work with Shell and eventually form some type of partnership or have Shell as one of our clients. Basically, the way we view the company when we started is really all about impact to health and well-being. And as we grow the company, our goal really is to bring more impact in this aspect. It's really all about clean air for everybody, clean air for all. I mean, that's our vision. Our mission and vision is really for long term. So achieving it is not gonna come for the next 3 to 5 years, or even 10 years, because this is a global movement that we're trying to build.
And again, thank you so much, Yoo-Hoo. Now, Yoo-Hoo, Justin, it's your time to tell us more about your startup. Take it away.
All right, so good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dustin, and I'm one of the co-founders of Yoo-Hoo. And at Yoo-Hoo, we're your first step to clean air. And the reason why we say that is because in order for you to understand what you're doing and what actions you're taking in terms of addressing air quality in your workplace, you need to rely on the data. And to understand whether it's actually effective or not, you always go back to the data. That's why we're your first step to clean air. And poor air quality indoors is the world's largest environmental hazard. This is simply because if you don't know what you're breathing in, that's going to make you sick. If you look at offices or in homes, you get sick inside offices. When somebody gets sick, it gets passed on to each other. When you're at home, the same case happens. And this is simply because if you don't know what you're breathing in, you won't. And science has also shown that poor air quality increases the risk of the coronavirus surviving and transmitting in the air. So in order to reduce that risk, you also need to improve your air quality. And at Yahoo, what we do is we help you monitor and manage the quality of air that you breathe so you know exactly how to improve it. We built our own device. This is how it looks like. All you have to do is to connect it to power, connect it to your Wi-Fi network, and you would get all the data on your app. And if you're a business user, you would also get a dashboard. You get all the data in real time, the historical trends, how things have changed over time, how your activities affect your air quality. You also get alerts and tips if in case air quality is not optimal. And if you'd like to achieve a smarter home or a smarter building, we can integrate Yahoo with different types of purifiers, dehumidifiers, air conditioners, and other types of appliances. And can integrate directly with your building system to automate the entire building. We are the most comprehensive monitor in the market, measuring 9 air quality parameters, covering comfort, health, and safety. And in order to battle the coronavirus, we also launched the Yahoo Virus Index. This is a world first. We patented it, and we are the only ones who are able to give you a real-time risk assessment of the coronavirus surviving and being transmitted in the air. So if you manage your air quality properly, you would be able to reduce the risk of coronavirus transmission and survival. And our solution is basically for everybody. We have a solution for homes, for businesses, and for governments. It's always about the data and how this data is analyzed and presented. And this gives different types of value to the different types of customers that we have. As an example, one of our clients is the Port of Rotterdam. They are a real estate company that owns and manages the port, and they own the buildings there. And a lot of the problems that they experienced were on occupant discomfort. People were getting sick inside the building. And the worst was all of their tenants didn't lease. Everybody wanted to move out. So they were already in a panic because if the tenants move out, the building would be empty. So they hired a consultant who wanted to ask them to rebuild the entire ventilation system and air conditioning system of the building, which was not really practical. So what we told them was just use Yahoo, understand the data, and start to take action based on this data. And from this, they were able to manage the building, enhance the ventilation, enhance comfort, reduce complaints by 95%. They saved $150,000 from retrofits. And the most important thing was just within 4 months of understanding and managing the building, they were able to get all their tenants to renew their leases. So it's a fully occupied building now. Another one of our clients closer here to home would be CapitaLand in Singapore. So what they're doing would be, what they wanted to have was new business opportunities that focus on health and well-being and sustainability. So they turned to us and started working together. And what we did was we helped them understand the quality of air inside their building. They used our data as an input for green building recertification. They were also able to reduce the amount of pollution created within the offices because of activities that they do. And they wanted to be proud of what they're doing, so they publicly displayed air quality data at the lobbies of their buildings. So this gives them a way to market themselves as a company that focuses on health and well-being of people and also on sustainability. So these are just 2 case studies of our clients. And when we look at where we're at today, we have tens of thousands of happy customers, including blue chip companies and governments around the world. Examples of blue chip companies would be CapitaLand, Konica Minolta, Hong Kong Baptist University, Schiphol Airport, the police in Belgium, and other governments include the Swiss government, the Dutch government, the Japanese government. So these are some of our clients today. And so we are looking for other companies who want to put sustainability and health and well-being at the forefront of what they do. And those are the kinds of partners and companies that we like to work with. And so we'd like to invite you in our journey in making the world healthier, one breath at a time. Thank you.
welcome back, judges. Can you breathe easier now after hearing Yoo-Hoo's speech? Who would like to offer the first question? Please do raise your hand so I can identify you. Okay, thank you so much. Can we please welcome Sir Baste of the Filipino Shell Foundation?
I was just interested to know the sensors. Obviously, you need sensors to be able to monitor and to track, to get the percentages or concentration. How long do they last? And are they cartridge type? And if they are, how do you dispose of them?
We use different technologies in the sensors. So this is how the product looks like. We fully integrated the sensors on the electronic circuit. So the technologies we use include MEMS, metal oxide, and DIR, optical scattering, electrochemical. So these are different types of technologies that we've integrated. And in terms of how long it lasts, we've built artificial intelligence technology to recalibrate the sensors. So usually sensors can last for a year. Ours can last you for up to 5 years. Yeah.
And how do the disposal part around it? How do you change the cartridges, or are you have to buy a new one, or how do you make it work again?
So there's no replacement parts. So it's one full piece. Yeah. So there are no cartridges.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Baste. Ma'am Sanki Simbulan of Filipino Shell.
Hello, Dustin. Nice to
Hi,
see you. Yeah, nice to see you here all the way to the final pitch. Shell LiveWire has always looked for opportunities to bring local jobs. And during this time that the pandemic has badly hit the economy and there's a huge increase in unemployment, how do you think can you who contribute to bringing local jobs or bringing opportunities here in the Philippines?
In terms of local jobs, although our operations is international, majority of our team are actually based in the Philippines. So in fact, our company is growing and we just hired 2 more people who joined the team just today. They just joined. So in terms of job creation, we're doing that by ourselves already. And in terms of other ways, we do work with 2 other companies here, namely Cortex and Testech. So both of them are our local partners here as well. So they help us push the product to market. And that also ensures that their team are also employed, because once they start growing this, they will need to hire more people as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dustin.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sanki of Filipino Shell. Ms. Greg Perez, your question, please.
Yes, thank you. Hi, Dustin. So yeah, definitely data is very important, right? So my question for you is, how are you thinking about your barriers to entry or your moat, so to speak? What's to prevent those who are already providing the air filtering to just tack on or add on this data analysis that is so key?
Yep. So air filtering devices, their core competency is on the filter. So we have to distinguish that. And if they want to add like a data piece to it, all they can do is to add maybe 1, 2, or 3 parameters to measure, because an air filter can only address dust particles. We measure 9 other parameters: temperature, humidity, volatile organic compounds, CO2, nitrogen dioxide, ozone. The filter cannot address these. So it is not in their interest to add data parameters on these, because they will never be able to fix it. So if they show that, it's shooting themselves on the foot. Yeah, so some filters do put it, but they only put a dust sensor, because that's the only thing they can address. Yeah, so in terms of creating a moat, it's really all about the visualization of the data and the analytics. So one of our IPs is actually the AI algorithms that we have, the artificial intelligence, to make the sensor last longer instead of just the usual 1 to 2 years. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Greg. To our good friends from the government, would you like to ask any questions, please? Ms. Nelly or Director Emmy?
Hi, Dustin.
Hi.
Yeah, congratulations. It seems that your presence is all over the world. And congratulations on your achievements. My question is, how can the government, because Director Nelly is with me from DTI and I'm from DICT, so how can the government actually assist you or support you on your business and startup?
That would be great if we can have a separate conversation on that, because it's going to be a pretty long conversation. It's all about telling corporations here in the Philippines that new technology should be adopted, because there is some resistance on adopting new technology here in the Philippines. So it's been harder for us to pitch to companies here compared to companies overseas, wherein adoption of new technology is very fast. They see it, they like it, they adopt. Here in the Philippines, there's usually a case of who's using it, who are your existing clients, may gumagamit na ba, and na-approve na ba yan ng government, may accreditation pa yan. So these are the usual questions, wherein in other countries we don't get that. It's always the value of the technology immediately. Yeah, so maybe that's a separate conversation that we can have. Would be great if we can have that.
Okay, thanks, Dustin. Director Nelly is smiling over there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much, Director Delphin. I look forward to your longer offline conversation together with Dustin with regard to Yuhu. And again, thank you so much to all of our 3 finalists who participated in the Shell LiveWIRE competition, the first ever competition here in the Philippines. One more big hand to all of our top 3 tech startups. I am sure at this point our judges will have a difficult time choosing this year's champion. Now, after learning about our top 3 tech startups, it is time to spotlight the social and community enterprises under the Shell LiveWIRE program. These companies take pride in how their products or services promote sustainability in the country while growing livelihood opportunities for Filipinos. Let's learn more about these companies and how they are changing their communities with their takeaways from the Shell LiveWIRE Acceleration Program. But before that, let's acknowledge the presence of our social enterprises and community enterprises. Each company will be taking turns presenting their visions. Our 3 social enterprises will go first, share the stories behind their products and how they are significantly contributing to nation building. After the social enterprises, we will give the stage to the community enterprises. They will also discuss their brand's advocacies and how they strive to initiate change and impact in their localities. After the presentations, the Shell LiveWIRE Philippines team will be awarding our 3 community enterprises with a cash grant worth 75,000 pesos each to help them kickstart their businesses. I'm sure you are all curious to know more about these Earth-conscious brands. So let's give them turns on the spotlight. Let's begin with the social enterprises. First up, we have a social enterprise that helps women, and it is none other than the 2020 Global Shell LiveWIRE Top 10 Innovators Awardee, CBAP Multipurpose Cooperative. Please watch this.
More than 3 decades ago, CBAP Multipurpose Cooperative was born in Batangas. The social enterprise derived its name from the initials of 6 sitios in Barangay Ambulong: Silangan, Ibabaw, Batis, Bulihan, Araneta, Proper, CBAP. The cooperative first opened a consumer store and eventually offered credit services to address its members' financial needs. Through the years, the CBAP Multipurpose Cooperative expanded its business to cater to their community. They built a learning center for toddlers and a bakery that provided families with clean, nutritious bread and livelihood opportunities. In 2015, the Barangay Council entrusted 5 high-speed sewing machines to the town's seamstresses. It hit 2 birds with 1 stone. It gave the community a means of livelihood by producing eco bags and garments, and solved the eco waste problem. CBAP Multipurpose Cooperative, weaving stories of success and sustainability.
CBAP Multipurpose Cooperative started the CBAP Garments Production Center year 2016 as a livelihood program for the women of our community in the partnership of our barangay, who donates 6 sewing machines, and Filipino Shell Foundation Incorporated. More women are interested in sewing but needs skills training to upscale their capabilities. With this, Filipino Shell Foundation provided the LiveWIRE program to be able to conduct skills training. business management, and initial fund to start. This marked the beginning of our business venture and expansion on the services provided by the cooperative. But during this time of pandemic, Sibap garments affected. Almost our garments production stopped and seamstresses cannot go out their houses to work due to community quarantine. Through Filipina Shell Foundation and Filipina Shell Corporation, we have a project that creates the job and income generation of many affected workers. We are called the Tahian sa Bahay program. I believe that having a business is not just counting money but also helping every individual to grow. I want to help other small enterprise na mag-grow din sa kanilang maliit na sinimulan na natiling nakatayo anuman ang pagdaan ng panahon. Ang maging inspirasyon ng marami sa larangan ng pagnenegosyo. You are part of our success. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sibap Multipurpose Cooperative. Next up, we have a social enterprise that educates coconut and copra farmers on technology and strategies in creating quality products with their harvests. Here is the Coco Hub Una Multipurpose Cooperative.
There's more to coconut than what meets the eye. And Coco Hub Una Multipurpose Cooperative knows this all too well. The municipalities of Unisan and Atimonan are some of the significant coconut cultivators in the Quezon province. Most farmers in the community depend on harvests every other month to provide for their families. But during off-peak season, they must face the challenge of looking for a source of income elsewhere. To address this, the J&J Group Incorporated and Shell LiveWIRE ignited the spark that would provide small farmers with sustainable livelihood during the lean months. Under the Shell LiveWIRE Acceleration Program, esteemed mentors educated coconut and copra farmers on technology and strategies that would enable them to create handicrafts using raw materials available to them on the farm. So far, the results have been excellent. To sow seeds is to believe in tomorrow. As long as the farmers of Unisan and Atimonan maximize the tools given to them, the future of families in their communities is secure.
Ang aming negosyo ay tungkol sa waste material ng kopra na nagkakaroon ng pagkakataon na magamit at pagmula ng kita. Ang naging inspirasyon namin sa pagbuo ng kooperatiba ay upang mabigyan ng mga magsasaka ng iba pang source of income. Simula ang aming negosyo sa ilang training and seminar na pinandak ng Shell and J&J. Ang Shell LiveWIRE ang nagbukas ng aming kaisipan, naming mga magsasaka na ang mga waste material pala ay pwede pa namin pagkakitaan. Para sa akin, ang pinakamahalaga ay yung makatulong ka sa kapwa mong magsasaka kahit sa mga simpleng paraan at maliliit na bagay. Ang aming pangarap ay imulat ang mga kabataan na linangin ng kaisipan sa pagnenegosyo at pagsasaka. Ang matutong ipakilala ang aming produkto sa industriya at mag-promote nito sa social media.
And maraming salamat, Coco Hub Una Multipurpose Cooperative. Moving on, our third social enterprise aims to give porters sustainable livelihood and support solid waste management and recycling in their community. I'm talking about EcoBricks Makahalar Wharf Porters Association. Please watch this.
Plastic wastes poison the earth, air, and water. In Cagayan de Oro City, plastics often end up clogging drainage and river streams, resulting in flooding and the spread of diseases. Last year, the Ocean Conservancy named the Philippines as the third polluter of ocean plastics in the world. These scenarios prompted the locals of Macabalan to act urgently in reducing solid wastes in their waters. In pursuance of the RA 9003, or Solid Waste Management Act, they saved, segregated, and collected plastics for recycling. Through Shell LiveWIRE's efforts, Shell's team of experts and mentors wasted no time educating the community on solid waste management and recycling. This regenerative practice also gave the porters of the Makahalar Wharf a sustainable source of livelihood through the production of eco bricks. Thanks to this initiative, at least 3,000 kilos can be recycled into reusable building blocks. Turning things into other things may be pure magic, but working together to save nature and change a community, that for sure is not an accident.
Ang inspirasyon sa pagbuhat sa mga negosyo, mungkin makatabang sa kinayahan, palingitan. Una, ang Makahalar Porters, ang title pa nga sa Makahalar Wharf, konektado yan sa Makahalar B sa Cagayan de Oro o sa Misamis Oriental. Minsan nga, tumutulong pa kami maglinis ng mga sa paligid, mga sa coastal. So ang amo kung makatabang siguro mi sa among komunidad, labi na kani ang eco bricks o eco hub nga atong pundar, yung pagkontrol lang sa mga basura na yung mga mananagat diyan sa mga kapitbahay namin nga mananagat, nahirapan na sila magpuli ng isda dahil nagkakunti na lang ang isda. Kaya siguro yun ang nakita kong dahilan bakit na-interesado kami nga mag-join na ng EcoBricks na program para sa pagkontrol natin sa paglala sa plastic garbage. Ay, Shell LiveWIRE, ako kayo katabang sa mga. Sabi na sa itong mga mentors nga maya kayo mga seminar, lalo na sa financial, parang natuto kami ng gusto ng financial, paano i-control, at saka yung Canva, first time ko lang nag-seminar ng Canva, napakaganda pala ng meron mag-seminar ka ng Shell LiveWIRE. Hopefully, siguro kung mayroon pa sunod na seminar, ay hindi namin tatanggihan yan. Mag-seminar pa rin kami kung kailangan.
And EcoBricks Makahalar Wharf Porters Association. At this point, we will be giving the floor to the companies who aim to inspire change in their communities, the community enterprises. We have a company that manufactures and exports handmade paper products. Let's find out more about the Green Factory Oro Handmade Innovations. Please watch this.
Winsome, functional, and sustainable. These are just a few ways to describe the Green Factory by Oro Handmade Innovations Incorporated. Over 3 decades, the Green Factory has produced handmade paper products from sustainable packaging, quality stationery to home accents for local and international customers. This feat is nothing short of a testament to the company's dedication to quality and sustainability. No wonder Shell LiveWIRE took notice and expressed its full support. An advocate of regenerative and solutions, the Green Factory recently innovated 100% biodegradable origami non-surgical masks to address the rising plastic pollution from face masks amidst the pandemic. A Green Factory plan to fine-tune all factory processes to be eco-friendly is also in the works. Now more than ever, Green Factory by Oro Handmade Innovations Incorporated stands out like its trademark origami face masks, unique and essential.
Today, we use plant-based fibers such as abaca fiber and even discarded pineapple leaves. With fiber-based paper, we don't have to cut trees. I am passionate about protecting the environment because in doing so, I will also protect my family, the community I work with, the farmers and women of Northern Mindanao from Misamis Oriental, Bukidnon, and Lanao del Norte. I have dreams for my social enterprise. First is to come up with a green factory wherein we are going to use solar energy, collect rainwater, and treat wastewater. And second is to scale up the production of piñapel or pineapple paper and abacapel or the abaca paper. We need it for us to be able to supply the increasing demand from domestic and international markets. I look forward with excitement to collaborate with Filipino Shell in our scale-up program and in the expansion of marketing channels. I learned so much from the Shell LiveWIRE Acceleration Program, from understanding the business model and the digital marketing. In digital marketing, when we posted our photos in the Facebook, I received calls from Finland interested in Piñapel and from Dubai interested in our paper clay. So, how effective is this social media? In our experience, it is so effective while we learn it in this course.
And thank you for that, Green Factory Oro Handmade Innovations. For our next community enterprise, we have an innovative livelihood business that recycles discarded tires found on landfill areas to create objects like furniture, planters, and fashion accessories. I am talking about Mag's Wheel Furniture. Take a look at this.
Magno Gilbuela started with a dream of protecting the environment. He noticed an abundance of used rubber tires that, when burned, release toxic fumes and take so much space in landfills. With his artistry and deeply rooted intention, he established Mag's Wheel Furniture in Puerto Princesa City, Palawan. Non-biodegradable and highly durable, the tires were ecologically problematic. But to Magno and his team, they provided an opportunity to create high-quality and bespoke furniture pieces. Soon enough, Shell LiveWIRE took them under its wing and helped them develop their vision further. As the business grew, it also gave sustainable livelihood opportunities to the community. As part of their mission, the family-run enterprise educates people in urban areas and prioritizes scavengers to offer them a source of income. They promoted the 4 R's: reuse, reduce, recycle, and repurpose, and taught others about their craft. If there's a gift that keeps on giving, it might as well be Mag's Wheel Furniture.
In Mag's Wheel, we always find ways to reproduce these durable materials. We are protecting the environment and discouraging burning of tires to prevent the emission of poisonous gases that cause climate change and global warming. And we came up in the solution of recycling them by making furnitures, sandals, belts, bags and wallets, and other fashion accessories made out of inner tube rubbers. And this is also a sustainable business because of unlimited source of our materials. And today we are creating a concept of making EnviroBlacks as part of our future plans and planning to be partnered with indigenous people by incorporating their native weave products to our products. We are trying to train people in the urban areas, especially those scavengers who live very close to landfill, on how to recycle tires and to promote 4 R's: reuse, reduce, recycle, and repurpose, and also to help of having a good, healthy, and clean environment and become a part to combat issues on climate change and global warming. As of now, we are trying to raise funds for additional equipments, structures, and training materials. I am very thankful for being a part of Shell LiveWIRE Acceleration Training Program. It connects us to private and government organizations, and I have met a lot of potential clients, and it enhanced my knowledge and skills and improved my confidence to face new challenges in the new normal. Even though we are small today, but if we work together to support each other, train and help the community, and keep the flames of the environmental conservation and protection initiative burning, together we can make a better world for the next generations, one tire at a time.
Thank you so much, Mag's Wheel Furniture. Last but not the least, we have our final community enterprise. This community enterprise has been wowing everyone by using PET bottles to push their advocacy forward. How? Let's learn more about Revolve Ecological.
The time is ripe for a recycling revolution. Fueled by an insatiable love for the planet, Reggie Pablo started Revolve Ecological. He lamented the proliferation of used PET bottles, how it threatened the environment, and wanted to do something about it. With persistence and ingenuity, Revolve became the only brand in the Philippines that creates products from recycled PET bottles outside of making them PET bottles again. The brand takes pride in what makes them unique: eco-friendly materials, recyclability, measurable corporate social responsibility or CSR practice, strong branding, a wide range of products made from a singular recycled material. Revolve sees no competition, only allies who are one with their vision, like customers who live and breathe sustainability. The team admits to holding the key to solving an environmental problem, yet feeling helpless for lacking the means to bring it to life. Good thing Shell LiveWIRE continues to rally behind them unwaveringly. And when you have Shell LiveWIRE with you, it can only be great.
Gusto kong magtayo na isang social enterprise na mapagsasama-sama ko yung mga gusto kong gawin. Gusto kong magkaroon ng produkto na matatangkilik ng community na where I belong, no? Yung which is outdoor sports community or mountaineering community. And true enough, isa po sa mga una kong project, yung mga running singlets, mga cycling jerseys, na ang beneficiary po naman ay kundi urban poor, mga reforestation project, no? So, and this year po, punong-puno po ako ng pag-asa na this is my take-off year for Revolve kasi marami kaming produkto na ilalabas for a beverage company, no, major beverage company. And then came pandemic. Ang laki-laki nung iniisip namin na project and then biglang nawala, no? And to be honest with you, until now, zero po ang sales namin sa Revolve. Dahil nga nagkaroon ng pandemic, parang I've lost faith in what I was doing, no? Naging cynical ako na parang sa loob-loob ko, kahit pala napakaganda ng gusto mong gawin sa isang bagay, para sa mundo, para sa kapwa mo, even if you have the purest of intentions, baliwala lahat yon, no? Kasi plano lang siya. And then dumating yung Shell LiveWIRE, no? Nakita ko lang sa isang Facebook page. Sinubukan ko lang kasi hindi ko rin naman alam kung ano talaga ang Shell LiveWIRE noon. Nakita ko lang na may project siya for social entrepreneurs like me. And hindi ko po in-expect na magiging bahagi po ako nito. Napakalaki po ng pasasalamat ko sa Shell LiveWIRE kasi nagkaroon ulit ng spark, yung na-motivate ulit ako na ituloy pa yung gusto kong gawin kasi yung mga mentors po napaka-positive ng outlook nila sa nangyayari ngayon. No? Parang sabi nila, sige lang, go lang. No? There's always a better way.
Now that we have heard from all of our community enterprises that have been doing their part in nation building, it is time to award them with a cash grant of 75,000 pesos each to jumpstart their businesses. Again, hi, Green Factory Oro Handmade Innovations, congratulations! You're going home with 75,000 pesos from your friends here in Shell. Congratulations as well to Mags Wheel Furniture. Hello guys, kumusta? And of course, Revolve Ecological. Logically, you win 75,000 pesos from our good friends here at Shell LiveWIRE. Congrats to all of you. God bless to all of you. Hi everybody, hi! Kumusta? Reggie, Pablo of Revolve, Magdo Higuelo of Mags Wheel, and Miss Lolita of Oro Handmade Innovations. Again, congratulations. Great job. More power to you guys and to the communities that you guys support. And once again, great job to all of our recipients, and thank you to all the social and community enterprises that took part in the first ever Shell LiveWIRE Philippines Acceleration Program. May you all continue to bring inspirations to your respective communities. We now move on to the most awaited part of our program, the awarding of the winning tech startup for this year's Shell LiveWIRE Philippines. A little trivia for everyone. Aside from the training and mentoring, all of our startups and enterprises receive funding for both allowance and product development in the duration of the program. So technically, the additional cash prize is just icing on the cake. But the big question is, who will our winner be? Let's all find out. Who do you think won in our first ever championship? And again, good luck to our three finalists. I'm sure all of you did a fantastic job. The judges had a difficult time choosing again. Welcome again to my good friends Don of NextPay, Dr. Jerome of Nanotronics. Thanks for joining us. And I'm sure Dustin is trying to join us all the way from Hong Kong. And you know what? The funny thing is we always encounter each other every time in conferences like these. But before we do announce the final winner, just a couple of things. What were the best lessons that you guys gained from joining this competition? Because sometimes we join, we win, we lose, but we learn. What did you guys gain from joining this one? Dr. Jerome, ikaw, what did you gain?
For me, first and foremost, good afternoon to everyone and good afternoon, RJ. So the learnings that we have from the Shell LiveWIRE experiences, one, there are so many experiential learnings that we had during our sessions with the mentors. Second, we gained a lot of mentors, by the way, and also friends out of this. Then, of course, the opportunity for us to share our products, wherein it would be part right now if Shell would allow, in Shell ecosystem so that it can help not just the environment, but also the community.
Well, thanks so much, Dr. Jerome. I was again truly impressed by the background. I love how you pivoted from being a scientist and now being a CEO, but I'm sure you're still a scientist at heart, just crunching the numbers. It's just another set of numbers that you're crunching here right now. And again, really, Don, what a great story. You came home from, you were working in Canada. Did you migrate there when you were high school, when you were college?
Right after high school, actually, my family migrated.
Wow. But then you still had that longing to come back here. You remind me of many of the popular companies who come back here. The reverse, I call yours the reverse American or the reverse Canadian dream.
Well, so the way we call it actually, so there's brain drain where, a lot of talent leaves the Philippines for other countries. But what's happening, what we call it is called brain gain or
right.
regain,
And for you, what were the biggest lessons that you learned from the whole Shell LiveWIRE acceleration program? I'm sure you've gone through many incubation programs, but what in Shell LiveWIRE made it particularly useful or interesting to you?
I really second a lot of what Jerome said. Everything that he said, I really agree. Specifically, if you're to go to more specifics, so I have a lot of experience building products, but when it comes to fundraising, when it comes to all the other business side of things, that's something that we don't really have as much experience as we'd like. And so that's like, for example, fundraising was something that we really learned quite a lot through mentors and through the workshops that we had in the accelerator program. So lots of very interesting things that we were able to pick up in the business side of things.
Fantastic, guys. I'm sure you learned a lot. And again, congratulations already to both of you. I know that Shell has given you a little bit of icing money right now to get things lubricated, just like Shell getting lubricated and going. And again, good luck to all of you. I'm sorry Dustin couldn't join us from Hong Kong, but again, good luck to you, Nanotronics. Good luck to you, NextPay, and good luck to you. Oh, I think Dustin is coming in right now. And we have come to the moment of truth. The tech startup that will receive an additional prize of 500,000 pesos. The startup that ruled the first ever Shell LiveWIRE Philippines competition. Congratulations goes to Nano. Hi, everybody. Sorry, I had to just take a call. Hi, Miss Cham. How are you doing?
Actually, I'm speechless. So, thank you very much for the Shell LiveWIRE, for the opportunities, the experience, the knowledge, the friends, the mentors. And I also would like to congratulate my fellow startups and the communities and the partners. So with this, we will move forward in terms of contributing our products to the communities and also to the environment as what we have presented. So thank you very much for all these opportunities. So
And congratulations once again to this year's champion and to all the tech startups and companies that joined the first ever Shell LiveWIRE Philippines competition. And of course, thank you so much to our wonderful, wonderful judges, Sanki, Sebastian, Greg, Emmy, and Nelly for those beautiful parting words. And at this point, Miss Nelly and Miss Emmy will be giving a special message to all of our hardworking and amazing entrepreneurs.
Okay, thank you very much to our esteemed guests, startup business contestants, Dr. Palaganas, Don Pansacola, Justin Ong Hangsen, our dear MSMEs, fellow judges, good afternoon. There has been a continuous increase in the number of startup and small businesses in the Philippines. This shows that the entrepreneurial spirit of Filipinos is very much alive. Google startup companies, and you will see a lot of companies finding ways to disrupt and reform the way business is operated or businesses are issued or sold. Issues are sold. Resources that would address the financial, human, and other requirements of the startup companies are necessary to ensure that their projects have a chance to be actualized to the fullest potential. Thanks to Shell LiveWIRE for the acceleration program. Shell LiveWIRE supports various industries that focuses on energy, local prosperity, circular economy, and the environment. The projects pitched today are of these business models, and these are aligned with the long-term goals of the government. Similar to Shell LiveWIRE, the Department of Trade and Industry, through its training arm, the Philippine Trade Training Center also offers programs which aim to help entrepreneurs strengthen and hone their business skills through trainings that encompass business functions like business finance, marketing, operations, and human resource training programs that are classified as or for pre-entrepreneurship, micro, small, and medium, making it easy for an enterprise to track and monitor appropriate training programs to grow its business. It's not just startups who benefit from the continued support of corporations such as Shell in growing the Philippine startup ecosystem, as it also has a direct impact on the country's economy, especially in terms of creating jobs and GDP growth. Once again, congratulations to the contestants and to Shell LiveWIRE for this very great initiative. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much for those kind words. I look forward to more productive years collaborating together between Shell LiveWIRE and, of course, DTI and PTTC. And with that, Director Emmy, a few words from you.
Good afternoon, everyone, to my fellow judges, to the finalists, to the startup community, and everyone who's here. Good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to thank and congratulate the people behind Shell LiveWIRE for conducting this very timely initiative to continuously support the growth and development of the startups and the startup ecosystem. The sudden shift to remote working has showed us the importance of digital transformation and how founders and the public need to quickly adapt to not just to survive, but also to thrive in this new ecosystem. Part of this new ecosystem is the rise of both e-commerce and online communities, requiring quick pivots from entrepreneurs and founders. For the Department of Information and Communications Technology, our commitment to supporting the digital transformation, The agency continues to provide workshops, seminars, and other resources that will actually help the Filipino startups. We are excited to implement the DICT's acceleration program for the startups starting next year. And we are glad that Shell, Filipino Shell, the LiveWire is aligned towards the same goal of providing opportunities for startups to prosper and succeed in their endeavors. The DICT, together with our key partners, the Department of Trade and Industry and the DOST, and key implementers of the innovative startup law, with our startup partners like Shell and Ignite, we will continue to find ways in assisting founders create opportunities so that they will succeed in their businesses and eventually will create a globally recognized Philippine startups and the Philippine startup ecosystem. So with that, congratulations and have a great day and stay safe, everyone.
Again, thank you, Nelly, and thank you, Emmy, for all those encouraging words. And that, my friends, is a wrap. Today marks a milestone in the history of Shell LiveWire Philippines, and it has been nothing short of remarkable. Shell LiveWire Philippines would like to thank its partner Ignite. Congratulations to all of our outstanding startups who trusted the Shell LiveWire team with their goals and their visions. May you all continue to develop innovative solutions for your communities and inspire change not only locally, but globally. Let's keep aiming high and doing more, not just for ourselves, but for the Philippines and the entire world. I'm RJ Ledesma. It was an absolute pleasure to host for all of you today. This has been Shell LiveWire Philippines. Stay safe, everybody.
Innovation, sustainability, inclusivity and diversity, and resource development. This is Shell LiveWire, our global flagship enterprise development program officially launched here in the Philippines. Our purpose? To support communities by funding local businesses and helping them grow through long-term initiatives that ensure sustainable livelihood for Filipinos. We support the companies of the future today. We support enterprises that make a relevant social impact. We support efforts that improve the lives of communities, great ideas, and sustainable projects made by Filipinos to help fellow Filipinos. Let's spark change in our country. Shell LiveWire. Innovation, sustainability, inclusivity and diversity, and resource development. This is Shell LiveWIRE, our global flagship enterprise development program officially launched here in the Philippines. Our purpose? To support communities by funding local businesses and helping them grow through long-term initiatives that ensure sustainable livelihood for Filipinos. We support the companies of the future today. We support enterprises that make a relevant social impact. We support efforts that improve the lives of communities, great ideas, and sustainable projects made by Filipinos to help fellow Filipinos. Let's spark change in our country. Shell LiveWIRE.